Conducting an international comparison between Australia and New Zealand is vital to identifying problem areas in Australia's legal framework. New Zealand's current scheme posits an ethical perspective by targeting demographics within the community with higher levels of smoking. This approach has seen tobacco consumption in New Zealand decrease by 68% since 1975. In the same amount of time, Australia's smoking levels have only decreased by 53%. New Zealand currently has a smoking rate of 15.7%, which is relatively similar to Australia with a rate of 13.8%. In 2017, the New Zealand government identified that the rate of smoking in Maori women at 42% called for reform in e-cigarette legislation. As a result, the government amended the Smoke-Free Environments Act of 1990 in order to legalise the sale of nicotine e-cigarettes and e-liquids as consumer products. The main result of this is that it enabled retailers to advertise e-cigarettes, something Australia strongly prohibits, having disregard for demographic parallels with New Zealand, of lower socio-economic communities with inevitably higher rates of smoking. The central argument for the New Zealand reform is that there are demographics in their country who do not have the facilities to completely quit nicotine. New Zealand emphasises the use of pharmaceutical aids for smoking cessation. From an ethical perspective, it is the New Zealand government's view, which reflects the people's view as the democratic society, that health professionals should be at least able to offer e-cigarettes as a potential cessation aid to those smokers who have been unable to quit using traditional methods. By legalising nicotine for those who need it most, New Zealand uses positive liberty theory to provide what a certain demographic needs, legalising nicotine, so that they are able to enjoy their liberty to the highest degree. That is, to help them quit smoking conventional cigarettes. There's a stark difference between New Zealand's accommodative approach to the legalisation of nicotine in e-cigarettes with Australia's total ban, and this can be categorised using the harm theory of justice. This theory states that laws should only be made to prevent harm to others. New Zealand, similarly to Australia, restricts smoking for persons under 18 who may not entirely be sure of what they are doing, and restricts secondhand smoke inhalation by banning nicotine in smoke-free areas. This prevents both children and non-smokers from having any immediate effects. Harm to others, however, does go further than the immediate physical effects and may also include economic factors such as burden on the healthcare system from nicotine-related illness. To counter this point is the fact that it has not yet been proved uncontradicted that vaping nicotine products directly causes lung cancer like cigarettes do. So the government is legalising on a whim, if you like, with large costs to society. To summarise, it is argued that Australia's total and overzealous ban on nicotine in e-cigarettes is not only out of line with its closest international counterpart, but it breaches the harm principle of justice. By adopting a more holistic approach to our legislation and providing options for those routine smokers, we may be able to quit smoking altogether with the help of e-cigarettes. Thank you.